What's up, you scoundrels? It's Andy here on a Thursday to dish out some NHL Sniffs. Now, I left you in the good hands of none other than the Parlay Pirate yesterday, who let you know to take Anthony Duclair up on that top power play, and that one worked out. So let's hope to, for lack of a better term, parlay that into a decent Thursday, which is going to start up there in Montreal, where there's always the chance in Montreal that they brings the ruckus. They bring that offense. They have many good offensive players. Sometimes it just kind of depends who's entering that building. That's how the game will take shape. And who are they welcoming in there? Another team who happens to be ruckus oriented, and that is the Buffalo Sabres. We're going into Montreal in a battle between two teams who are definitely exciting to watch. Two exciting regular season, but no actual hope teams. But there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I think most of you people, if you're watching this video, I think you're more of an entertainment-oriented person. So it's definitely, it has the ingredients of an entertaining game. And I see something on both sides of the ice here. Let's start in Buffalo, where things have been going mostly well. I thought that the ship maybe had a little leak in it. I think they lost 2 of 4. I projected them to lose that last one, playing on the second half of a back-to-back, but they keep answering the bell. So that's nice for you Buffalo fans. Still a lot of season to go, but they're going into Montreal here, and they did a slight line juggle, just a slight one, but one that kind of is going to work out to our benefit. They moved J.Doan from the third line up top with Tage and Tuck. And I've always loved when Tage and Tuck are together. I never understand why they would break them up. They're like these twin towers who just need a third ingredient. They were using Zach Benson for a little bit, put somebody with higher upside, and that's what they did with J.Doan. That whole line clicked for a goal last game. The beautiful thing about J.Doan, the price we're seeing on him, that was built by playing on that third line. But now he's on the first line. We already know he's on the top power play. Those are pretty much all the ingredients that I need to see. Give me J.Doan for a point at plus 100 against those Montreal Canadiens. Very easy to stack with Tage Thompson if you want. That's plus 160. You can take the whole line for plus 300. You can take him for 2 points and an assist for the power play defenseman in Dahlin. That one is going to be it. So a lot of combinations available. Where can you get those combinations? Obviously on the Patreon with the line combos, who have been doing. It's going to be the first nice month. January is going to be the first night, but happy new year, new combos. We will see how those ones go, but I like J.Doan for a point. Then on the other side, we've played Zach Bolduc. We've played Texier. I said that right, correct? Texier? We've played them both, and why is that? Just because of opportunity. You're playing with Caulfield and Suzuki. You just want to hope that some of what they have rubs off on you. It's worked out for us in the past, and now it's time to cash in on the third person who's been paired up with them. And this is a returning K.Dach. This is his second game back, so hopefully he has his feet a little bit more under him in a home game, playing with those two guys, the best two offensive forwards on the team. And they're going to get that good last change and get the matchups they want. So I'm going to go with K.Dach at home for a point against these Buffalo Sabres. And because I think goals are going to be going in this game, I think this is one where you can add both teams to score 2+, and we will find something to combine with that in a little bit. Now, let's go over to Carolina, where sometimes that's where ruckus goes to die. If you have an engaged Carolina, sometimes that's where ruckus goes to die. When they make it difficult for you, like they made it difficult for Buffalo over the weekend, I thought Buffalo would force some ruckus in there, and now Carolina kind of stamped out that ruckus. However, values are values, and I take good values when they are there, because even some of the lowest scoring teams in this league, you saw Vancouver have 4 goals by the middle of the second period last night. It happens. It can happen. And with the Chicago Blackhawks, who are coming off a low-scoring game, and the Hurricanes, who are coming off a low-scoring game, I typically would say let's find a way to bump it up under 6.5. You have two teams who are coming off solid defensive wins. Do you want to do that? How about that? Let's take the under 6.5 with both teams to score 2+ in that Montreal game. But even though I think it will be under 6.5 goals, maybe it won't, there's a value on each side. On the Chicago Blackhawks, I'm looking at A.Burakovsky. I know that this is someone we've brought up in the past. When Chicago was really rolling, so was Burakovsky. And why? Because he was on that little Robin motorcycle, the one I talked about. He was, kind of water skiing behind Bedard, letting Bedard do all the heavy lifting. And now his price has kind of moonwalked back because the team has been offensively struggling. What makes me think that it will potentially change? Well, at least they're getting Frank Nazar back in this game. At least it allows them to have a couple of lines who may be able to produce. Now you got Bertuzzi and Nazar on the second line, and we have Burakovsky, Green, and Bedard on that top line. I think that plus 115 value for Burakovsky is very good. When you're talking about the top line, top power play, I know if this was the playoffs, I would never take this when Carolina was at home. Carolina's going to have games where they don't really bring it. And maybe this is one of them. I mean, Chicago doesn't really get you that excited. They're one of the worst teams in the West right now. So I'm going to go with Burakovsky for a point against the Carolina Hurricanes. And then on the other side, because Shane Gostisbehere has been injured, we've been seeing a power play who's been run not by Gostisbehere because he's out, not by Keandre Miller, not by Sean Walker, but A.Nikishin, a Russian who has been playing very well, increased role this year because of all the injuries on the back end for the Carolina Hurricanes. And he's had points in plenty of these games where he's been tasked with that responsibility. He's also not afraid to shoot. So at home against the Chicago Blackhawks, I'm going to go with A.Nikishin for a point, running that top power play. And you know what we can do? We can take one Russian for a point and the other Russian for an assist, little outside top of the power play duo. A.Nikishin for an assist and Svechnikov for a point against the Chicago Blackhawks. But with all that said, yeah, sure, give me the under 6.5 to take with the both teams to score 2+. Then I got one that's going to require some balls. Yeah, some balls. You have those? You heard of those? Well, show us. Because we got M.Tkachuk and Brad Marchand. Both of them are back for the Florida Panthers. But to me, that means a lot of things are in flux. Obviously, this is good for them in the long term. And something that I kind of really got to get in the business of doing, something that I want to bring up to you more often. When you have like a true star, a guy, as soon as he hits that prop sheet, his under is going to be like plus 150. Like some of the best players in the league coming off of injury, coming off of surgery, and they're playing their first and second game mid-season. I think taking their under is smart because we don't know if they're going to be on the top power play. We don't know how many minutes they're going to play. We obviously know they're not in mid-season form. They're in week 1 form. That was the case with M.Tkachuk last game. Didn't have a point. I mean, that was the ideal time, to be honest. He was playing on the third line with Samoskevich and Rodriguez, and now they're moving him. I think he's playing with Bennett. So they're going to be moving the lines around. But Winnipeg is, they're playing a little bit better. Hellebuck's playing a little bit better. I'm going to go with the under 0.5 point for M.Tkachuk. Yeah, it's going to be a sweat. It's going to be a sweat. Let's see how much he plays. I mean, this guy is just getting his feet under. No, I mean, not the fastest guy in the first place. So I'll go with the ballsy call of taking the under 0.5 point for M.Tkachuk. And then if you need a donkey line, or you don't get in, you had Detroit win in overtime over the Maple Leafs. Classic. Now they're traveling, have to play second half of back-to-back. Doesn't always work out, but Minnesota, I think, has the advantage. They're sitting there waiting for them. I think Minnesota should win that game. You can take Minnesota with a Quinn Hughes point. That will get you them at like plus 100. But always remember, and this was including last night, Larkin and Raymond were plus 140 last night. If you ever see them north of plus anything, plus 105 even, or Suzuki or Caulfield, you can always feel free to take them. They came through last night. They come through all the time. They're just one of those combos that I think is an auto bet. So if they're in that plus once again, you can roll that out there once again. And that is what I have for you on a Thursday. Good luck to you. Better luck to me. Make sure you're subscribed here to the YouTube channel. Every click you give is very appreciated. The likes, the comments, the subscribe, the notification click, the hype click. the join the Patreon click. A lot of clicks, and I hope to see you over on the Patreon. If not, no worries. I will see you for the next round of NHL Sniffs. Take it easy.